In 2 short days, we have NFL football on the heels of week 1 of the college football season wrapping up. Means it's a great time to visit with our buddy Sean Salisbury, who joins us every Tuesday during the football season. We're thrilled to be able to do this again. Sean, it's our pleasure, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, Matt. How are you, buddy?
Awesome.
You got me okay? Can you hear me clear?
Loud and clear, man. You got us?
Okay. Yep, sure do.
Perfect, man. We're doing pretty awesome here, man. LSU wins the game the way that they did. First season opening win, as we know, since 2019. People are fired up. Let me start actually there. We'll get in some NFL week 1 in our next segment, but there's been so much praise for Garrett Nussmeier. Interestingly, Sean, the 232 yards he threw for on Saturday would have been his lowest total a season ago, yet it feels like it was a great performance by Garrett. What did you see?
The thing I was most impressed, and when you say this phrase, Matt, people get to the point where they say, oh, well, then he's not a playmaker. Well, I think we know that with the way he put up numbers. I think he just took his, and maybe this has become normal for LSU, like Burrow, even though it wasn't Brian Kelly the second year there as a starter, and Jaden Daniels the next year as a starter, and then now, Garrett Nussmeier this year as well. I just thought the management making throws when necessary.
We'll get right back to the video, but thrilled to welcome Our Lady of the Lake to AFR LSU. As the championship health partner of LSU athletics, the physicians at Our Lady of the Lake serve the champions on the field in the purple and gold, but that same level of care is available to you and your family. I've been a proud supporter of Our Lady of the Lake my entire life, from volunteering at the Ronald McDonald Playroom as a high schooler to helping so many of the fundraising efforts for the standalone children's hospital, to my own son being a patient now at that very children's hospital, and my primary care physician, Dr. Kurt Chastain at Our Lady of the Lake Men's Health Group. Our Lady of the Lake has been a part of my medical journey my entire life, and you can learn more as well. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar. You were breaking in and out, and then I heard something about Drew Brees, so I wanted to get that soundbite. So would you mind just starting the Garrett takeover?
Yeah, I was in the reason I said Drew Brees, and I'm not comparing the two's careers, obviously,
sure.
But there's this ability that he had to, know when to make the throws that are necessary and to be accurate on throws that manage the game. When you say game manager, people look at it as a negative. I look at it in a handful of coordinators I've talked to and coaches across the league, because I've always been intrigued with it. The best players in the world are game managers to the fullest. They can make the throw, which Nussmeier, we see him fit it in tight windows, and he did that in this game. But also to be able to discern when you need to make those throws or not. Otherwise, make the simple play. I can take you to Arch Manning. Arch did not make the simple play in the game this week. Now, he's going to be fine, and I'm sure we'll get to that, but Nussmeier did. I went into this season, there was no quarterback when it came to just confidence and grasping what you're trying to get done, keeping you out of bad plays at the line of scrimmage, making sure you get to the right checks on a regular basis. There's nobody in the country you can trust more to do that than Nussmeier. It's obviously a coach's son, been well coached, but gets it. But the gaudy stats don't mean a hill of beans to me if you're not making the throws necessary to keep drives alive, keep the ball out of Cade Klubnik's hands. I thought it was one of his better games, and he's played a lot of them, because it wasn't the stats that stuck out, the completion percentage. It was when he made the plays, how he made them, and how he kept them out of harm's way. And to me, game manager is an ultimate compliment. Peyton Manning, one of the best game managers ever. Brady, Brees, look at them. Spectacular plays come when you learn how to make the simple play first. And I thought Nussmeier was as impressive as we saw in college football this weekend, and they needed it in a hostile environment. He looked like he was in complete control, and I'm not sure many would have in that environment for a first game in 2025, even though it's his second season doing this.
Now, you brought up Arch, and that's been a giant conversation as well. I know everyone's discussed it, but I'd love to hear your take as someone who not only played but trains quarterbacks, and what we saw in the debut this season from Arch Manning at Ohio State.
Matt, I don't need to tell you this, that we are way too hyperbolic in all our stuff. I mean, the guy, we weren't going to put him in the Hall of Fame if he threw for 400. We're sure as hell not going to bury him. He's going to be fine. Somebody asked me if you had $1,000 and you bet, over or under that he'd be closer to being a good player than not by the end of the year. I'll take the Manning, that reputation and the talent the kid has. I thought there was a couple things, but he's also not above criticism. And you know my affinity for the family and for him. But one is, I thought mechanically he was awful in the game. His feet and the side. Listen, if you're Stafford, you get away with it. But you can see he'll make a spectacular throw. But talking about the stuff that Nussmeier did, Arch didn't make the simple stuff. And when you go back and watch, then I know 4 offensive linemen are new on the O-line, but he didn't make the stuff that you expect the great players. And I think he will as it goes forward. But the hostile environment, you still got to make them. And so while he did get him back in it, and they had a chance a bunch of times, at the midfield, they 4th down didn't get it, in the red zone a couple times, and on the final drive. But he missed throws, and you go back and look, arm slots in a clean pocket, dropping that arm slot, which the ball's all over. A little, it's not as accurate as you want to be. That's going to have to change a little bit, I think, to do it. And his feet, even more so, were in position. And I don't know if they were happy. They just weren't in position where he could have flipped his hips on the one to the right at the end that he threw behind the receiver. So it'll get better, and the Mannings know this, and Arch will go to work, and he would have gone to work even if they'd have won the game. But mechanically, with the upper body and where his arm slot was in clean pockets and the footwork to get himself in position to flip his hips and throw it accurately, we're not consistently there, whether it's nerves or what have you. So they should be talking about it. He's not above criticism, nor would he want to be. And I didn't think Sark had his best game. I thought they came out a little bit tentative early, and I get it. You're trying to get the feel of a coordinator that hasn't been in college football in 20 years in Matt Patricia, trying to figure out how to attack it. You saw him come out in the second half, and they started to get into more rhythm. Sark will change that because he's one of the best in the world at what he does. But when you combine a game that wasn't real efficient offensively, they didn't run it as often as I think they'd like to and as efficient as they want to. And then they put the game in his hands, and while he let him back into it, he missed some throws that one eye closed he's going to make normally. But the mechanics are going to have to change. And I thought Sark had an average game for him, which we always expect him to have a high-profile, explosive game. Combine the two, hard to go on the road and beat the number 3 team in the country, who now I believe is number 1 in their building, even though they didn't play a great offensive game either.
San Jose State, UTEP, Sam Houston the next 3 weeks for Texas. I think there'll be a little get right over the next month. Before they head to
good time to get your mechanics right. No question about it. That's for sure.
Sean Salisbury is our guest. He's on Twitter at Sean Unfiltered, the host of the Sean Salisbury Show. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.